Hey guys, let's get this thing going. My name is Steve Schultz, and I've got the pleasure of sharing some really interesting information with you guys here tonight. I have been in the networking industry for 33 years. All right, let that sink in a little bit. 33 years I've been in this profession. And what I'm going to share with you guys here tonight is something that I've never seen in 33 years. In fact, it is the greatest technology that I've ever had a chance to promote in that 33-year period. And it is a technology. All right. Some of you might think it's a product, but it's actually a technology. And what I mean by that is that the technology that I'm going to share with you guys here tonight is going to sound a little bit unbelievable to you. Okay. It's going to sound a little bit crazy. But I truly believe that what we have here can change the world. Now, doesn't that sound crazy? All right, you're sitting here on a Tuesday night watching some guy from Wisconsin, talk about a technology that's going to change the world. And I truly believe that to be the case. And when you talk about, things that were crazy, the Wright brothers, people thought they were crazy when they said that flight was possible. And Thomas Edison was almost thrown in jail when he said he's going to put electricity in everybody's homes. Everybody thought that was crazy. There were some people who thought the internet was crazy. All right, it's just a fad. There's no way that the internet is going to catch on. Well, what I'm going to share with you guys here tonight absolutely falls into that same category. And I love what Steve Jobs said. Steve Jobs said, let's go invent tomorrow instead of worrying about what happened yesterday. Technology is all about moving forward. Okay, there's a reason that we should always be looking forward. We can learn from our mistakes, and that's fine. But to move ahead, obviously, we have to keep looking forward. I always say there's a reason that your rear view mirror is a lot smaller than your windshield. Now, technology has created more wealth and opportunity for individuals in the past 25 years than any other industry. And why is that? It's because technology makes our lives easier, right? Using this medium right here of a Zoom presentation, that makes our lives easier. I can reach literally millions of people without leaving my house. All right. And the more people that use technology, obviously, the greater the wealth that is created. Now, sometimes when a new technology is introduced, people don't understand it. And that's okay. And sometimes when you don't understand something, we play it off as magic. Oh, it's got to be a magic trick. They're trying to play a trick on us. Well, just because you don't understand a certain technology, that doesn't mean that you can't benefit from it every single day. Now, a perfect example of that is our phones. Okay. Now, I'm guessing that all of you have one of these within 2 feet of you right now. Now, I obviously use my phone every single day, and I have no idea how it works. I'm like, seriously? I can talk to you right now with no wires. I can do my banking. I can do shopping. I can FaceTime with my grandchildren. It's like, how does this thing work? It's like, it's got to be magic, right? Well, I don't understand it, but I certainly enjoy the experience with it every single day. I jump in airplanes almost every week, and I have no idea how airplanes fly, okay? But that doesn't mean that I don't enjoy the experience of getting from one place to another in a very, very short period of time. I get in my car every single day, and I really have no idea how those cars work. But guys, I enjoy the experience of using that vehicle every single day. Just because you don't understand it doesn't mean that it's not real. Now, with all of that being said, and I get a phone call from Jay Dollywall. Now, I have no idea who Jay Dollywall is, okay? But Jay is obviously the founder of the superpatch company. Jay calls me up and he introduces himself and he said, Steve, a friend of yours from Toronto told me to give you a call. I said, well, who's that friend? He said, your friend Dan. I said, yep, I know Dan. Dan's on the Zoom with us here tonight. I said, Jay, what can I do for you? He said, I want to tell you a little bit about my company and I want to know if you'd be interested in helping me build it. I said, okay. Jay, what do you do? Well, Jay then started to explain to me that he created this little patch. Okay, it's just 1 inch by 1 inch. And he said, Steve, there's nothing on this patch. Okay, there's just this little pattern that has ridges on it, but when it touches your skin, it sends a message to your brain to fix things. And he said, I can help people with balance, stability, and range of motion. I can help people, overcome pain. I can help people with stress and focus, sleep issues. I can help with athletic performance. I can help overcome, somebody's bad habits. And I'm sitting here listening to Jay tell me all of this, and I'm literally rolling my eyes. I was sitting right here at this desk. I had my feet up on the desk, and I'm just listening to him going, okay, this guy is telling me that all I have to do is put this little patch on my arm and my pain's going to go away. And there's nothing on this patch. No drugs, no stimulants, no supplements, no magnets, no stem cell, anything. All I have to do is put this patch on my arm and good things are going to happen. And I'm like, there is no possible way. You know why? It sounded crazy to me. I thought it was a trick. I thought it was magic. I didn't understand what he was even saying. And so finally I said, Jay, how long have you been doing this? He said, well, research and development for 12 years, but we've only been marketing it now for 6. And I said, okay, well, in that 6-year period, how are you doing so far? He goes, well, today I have 6 million customers. Yeah, that's what I said too. I said, my feet flew off the desk and I said, Jay, I leaned into the phone. I said, Jay, you have 6 million people that are using this technology? I said, what are you calling me for? I said, obviously you've got this thing figured out. He said, well, we're off to a good start, but I want to get this to 1 billion people worldwide. And I said, okay. As soon as Jay told me that he had 6 million people that were using his technology, I knew it was a me problem. I'm like, okay, wait a minute. 6 million people have already used this, and I'm the one rolling my eyes? I'm the one who has a problem. Okay, I'm the guy who doesn't get it. I said, Jay, this is amazing. I said, what you're telling me is amazing, but I don't get it. I mean, I don't get it. How does it work? He said, can you come to Toronto? And I said, yes. So I flew to Toronto. I met Jay. I met his corporate staff. And Jay said to me, he said, Steve, I want to prove to you how this technology works. And I was sitting in his office, and I'm just going to show you guys what he did to me, okay? He said, Steve, I want you to stand up, and I want to give you a little balance test. I'm like, all right. So he said, I want you to stand up. I want you to put your feet together and make 2 fists, fist over fist, and just put it up by your chest, just like this. And he said, all I'm going to do is just push straight down on your hands, and I want you to try to maintain your balance. I'm like, all right. So feet are together, fist over fist. He pushes down on my hands, and he knocks me off balance with no effort whatsoever. And I kind of expected that, right? So then he said, okay, put your feet shoulder width apart, put your arms down to your side, lock your elbows. And he lifted up on one of my arms, and he knocked me off balance with no effort whatsoever. I said, okay. So then he said, all right, I want you to roll up your sleeve, and I'm going to put this little patch on your arm. And he showed it to me, and he said, Steve, there's nothing on this patch. No drugs, no stimulants, no supplements, nothing. There's just this little pattern that has these ridges on it. I said, okay. So he puts it on my forearm. I roll my sleeve back down and he goes, let's redo the balance test. So I put my feet together, fist over fist. He pushes down on my hands, and he can't move me. You guys, he can't budge me. And I looked at him and I said, how'd you do that? Because I thought he was playing a trick on me. I thought it was magic and he was playing a trick on me. He didn't even answer me. He goes, put your feet shoulder width apart, put your arms down to your side, lock your elbow. And he tried to lift up on one of my arms, and he couldn't budge me. You guys, he would have broken my arm before he moved me. He couldn't move me a millimeter. I said, Jay, how are you doing this? He goes, take the patch off. So I took the patch off. We redid the balance test. He tipped me right over. I put the patch back on, and he couldn't move me. I said, Jay, what is this? And he said, Steve, it's neurotechnology. And I remember just laughing to myself going, oh, great. Now I get to go home and talk to my friends about brain technology. I said, how am I going to do that? I said, Jay, how does it work? And he gave me this long scientific explanation. And I said, Jay, I can't talk like that. I said, I'm not a neuroscientist. I can't explain it the way you just explained it. And he said, here's how you explain it. And this is what he did. He said, Steve, I want you to close your eyes and hold out your hand. So I did, just like this. And he put a pen in my hand. And he said, "What's in your hand right now?" I said, "It's a pen." He goes, "How do you know? Your eyes are closed. How do you know?" I said, "Because I know what a pen feels like." He said, "Exactly." He said, "Your skin is sending a message to your brain that says, this is a pen." He goes, "Steve, I could have put anything in your hand and you would have known what it was." He goes, "I've just figured out a way to create a pattern that when it touches your skin, the receptors in your skin send a message to your brain to fix things." And he said, "The patch that you have on your arm right now fixes balance, stability, and range of motion." And he said, "I've got one to help people sleep. I've got one to help people deal with pain. I've got one to help people deal with stress. I've got one to help people focus. I've got one to help people overcome their bad habits." He goes, "I've got one for overall athletic performance." And I'm just sitting here listening to this going, "Jay, so what you're telling me is that you have figured out a drug-free solution for pain and for sleep and for stress and for cognitive decline?" And he looks at me and he goes, "Yes." I said, "Jay, we're going to make a bajillion dollars together." Because I said, "Jay, I've been doing this for 32 years at the time." I said, "There's nobody doing this." He goes, "I know." I said, "Okay, I'm in. I'm in." I said, "I will help you every step of the way." That's what we want to share with you guys here tonight. Now, this is Jay on the right-hand side of the screen, obviously, and I want you to hear his voice. And in 1 minute, he will explain how this technology works. Here we go.
Hi, everyone. It's Jay with Superpatch. I hope everyone's having a great day. People are always asking me, "Jay, how do these super patches work?" So today I'm going to give you guys a high-level explanation. So first things first, every physical, emotional, psychological function has a corresponding neurocode in our brains. And these neurocodes, which are just messages, sometimes get stuck or damaged for 1,000,001 reasons, but that leads to poor health, poor wellness, and even poor performance. So after 12 and a half years of research at Superpatch, we actually decoded these messages. We decoded the neural code that can help and control the neurofunction of physical, emotional, and psychological function. So every single super patch has a pattern and ridges in it. And when these ridges come in contact with our skin, the patch uses the receptors in and on our skin to send that message to our brain. And the brain decodes it. So every single super patch is generating a very specific signal that's responsible for a physical, emotional, or psychological function. And that's how the super patches work. So all 8 super patches have their unique QR code that's sending a unique message that our brain decodes. And that's why we can help with so many wellness, performance benefits that people are seeing. So till next time, you guys have a great day. Talk to you soon.
Guys, he said it's a QR code for our brains. Now, if you look at this slide here, this is what people are looking for. On the wellness side, people are looking for something for pain. They're looking for something for low energy. They're looking for something for brain health. How many of you have walked into a room and you got there and you went, "What did I come in here for?" We can help, right? All of these things on the wellness side, people are looking for. On the performance side, people are looking for exercise performance, sports performance, which means more power, strength, endurance, mobility, agility, and recovery time, faster recovery times. This is what people want. Now, today, how people are getting that is on the right-hand side. They're doing it with drugs and over-the-counter products and surgeries. Guys, we live in a world today where it is so acceptable for somebody to say, take this drug, this drug, this drug, this drug, but you're also going to have to take this drug to offset the side effects of that drug. And you know what most people say? Okay. Guys, it doesn't have to be okay, because we can give people everything they're looking for on the wellness side and the performance side drug-free. It's instant and effective. It's easy to use. It's non-invasive. It's non-reactive. It's child safe. It's pregnancy safe. There's no diet changes, no lifestyle changes. And the best thing is, you guys, it's affordable. Everybody can afford this, okay? Now, I want to share with you the superpatch technology in action, okay? This young lady here that you see on the screen, her name is Brandy, And she came to a meeting of ours in Alabama a few months ago, and she had no idea who the superpatch company was. She was invited, very similar to the way that maybe you were invited here tonight. And I want to share with you guys her reaction, because after we did a little bit of talk like we're talking right now, she said to us, she goes, I have a really hard time walking up and down the stairs. Will this help me? Watch the difference in her walking up and down the stairs with and without the superpatch technology. Here we go. It's 1 minute long.
How many years have you had an issue going up and down the stairs?
Since I was 33, I'm 46, so you can do the math, I can't.
13 years.
Thank you.
Go ahead. Please be careful. Okay, I'm going to put the Liberty patch on her right now. And she's going to do all of that again.
And by the way, just walking up and down this many times, usually I'm in a lot of pain too, and that's not as bad.
This is her third time doing it. There you go.
It's amazing. Utterly amazing.
Amazing. Utterly amazing is what she said. Guys, that's the Liberty patch. Okay, that's going to help people with balance, stability, range of motion. We've got the Freedom patch to help people with pain, deal with pain like never before. We've got one to help people sleep. We've got one to help people deal with stress. We've got one for overall health and blood flow. Take a look at this. I was in Chicago at a meeting, and a doctor was on the stage, and she asked for a volunteer to do a blood test. And they did a live blood test right in front of the entire audience, and they took that blood sample, threw it up on the screen, and this is what it looked like. Now, I was in the audience here, and I actually took these pictures, and this meant nothing to me. I'm like, all right, what does that mean? And the doctor said, look at this. These red blood cells they're not full of oxygen. They're because they would normally be round with a white circle around them. They're all stacked up on top of each other, which makes it very, very difficult for this blood to circulate through the small little capillaries. And I'm looking at this going, all right, sounds good to me. Didn't mean anything to me. I'm like, okay, that kind of makes sense. And then what happened was they put this Defend patch on this young lady. They waited 30 minutes, redid the blood test, and this was the difference. Look at the difference. I saw that with my own eyeballs, and I said to myself, I am never taking this Defend patch off because I want my blood to look like this as opposed to this. 30 minutes with the Defend patch on, that was the difference in the blood sample. We've got one, Liberty. I showed you guys Liberty with Brandy walking up and down the stairs. We've got one for cognitive decline. Okay, we call that the Flow patch. Victory, this is for athletic performance. And the Focus patch, we talk about helping kids succeed. And a lot of people say, oh, kids aren't focused today. It's like, no, they haven't lost their focus. It was stolen from them because of social media. Kids today are switching back and forth, back and forth, back and forth, back and forth on all of these social media platforms. And there's no such thing as multitasking. Our brain can only focus on one thing at a time. And this is what this patch will help us do, is help us focus. Ignite, we're going to help you burn 25% more calories at rest. Okay, so imagine burning 25% more calories without exercise, okay? And then we have the Kick It patch, which will allow you to kick all of your bad habits. So you guys figure out what those bad habits are, and this Kick It patch will help you along the way. So that's what our super patches look like. We have 10 of them right now. There are more in the works. We sit back and say, well, why the super patch? Why this technology? Guys, I think it's the biggest breakthrough in health and wellness performance in the past 50 years. And we have no competition. Guys, I want you to really think about this. Tell me a better solution. Tell me what's better than a drug-free solution for pain, or a drug-free solution for sleep, and a drug-free solution for cognitive decline, and for burning calories, and to dealing with stress, and so on, and so on, and so on. Guys, we have a technology here that is 100% drug-free. Over 1 million people have already started using these super patches, Okay, the company started with another product, but these super patches have only been available. Basically, the launch of the super patch company was on January 14th of this year. We have over 1 million people that are already using the products. We've got clinical studies, we've got peer reviews written up in medical journals. Jay says, listen, nobody has to take my word for it. Look what these outside agencies are saying about our technology. All the patches are made in Minneapolis, Minnesota. And check this out, guys. We are registered with the FDA. Okay, we're registered with the FDA. They don't endorse us, but what being registered means is that they agree with everything that we are saying about our technology. Now, guys, we're dealing here in a $500 billion a year industry. If we only had the pain patch, we've got 1.6 billion people to deal with. If we only had the sleep patch, we've got 6 billion people that we need to help. Guys, we've got a patch for all of these, which means that we can play in a $500 billion a year industry. Now, those of you that are watching this for the very first time, listen, we definitely want you to try these patches. There's a full 30-day money-back guarantee. But if you want to go out and share this technology with the people that you care about the most, people that you know could use this technology, you can get in as what we call an associate. It is a whopping $50 to join. Okay, now what do you get for $50? You get everything that you're going to need to build a multi-million-dollar business, and you're also going to get $75 worth of our product. Okay, we're going to give you a pack of the Liberty patches. There's 28 in that pack. That's a $60 value. We're going to give you a 4-pack of our Freedom patches, which is the pain patch. That's a $15 value. So $75 worth of our product, you're going to get for $50. All right. And as an associate, you have the ability to purchase the products at a really deep discount. All right. You can pick up $360 worth of our product for $225, or $600 worth of our product for $375, or you can get $1,320 worth of our product for $600. So you guys decide. You're going to buy the product anyway, all right? But to become an associate, it's $50. You have the opportunity to buy the products at the technology at a deeply, deeply discounted rate at enrollment if you decide to do that. But that's totally, totally up to you. That's all I'm going to tell you about the compensation plan, other than the fact that you get paid to share this with other people, and you can show other people how to do the exact same thing, and you get paid on all the volume that's created in your organization, paid to an unlimited number of levels. Now, what I want to do is I just want to open this back up to everybody. I mean, that's a pretty fast description of what the Super Patch company is all about. And like I said, you're not expected to understand how it all works, but what I really, really want you to do is to hear some stories. Maybe we have a couple of people here tonight that want to just share a story or two of what the super patches have done for them. Eileen Schwartz, I see your hand up in the air. Jump in here real quick and tell us about the Super Patch company.
Hey, Steve, it hasn't worked yet, but I patched my foot doctor today.
Yes?
He was blown away when I did the test. And then I put the patch on and I said, okay, we're going to do the same. He's like, no, don't we have to wait for it to start working? I'm like, no. He said, it's instantaneous. I said, yes. He's like, no way. And I'm like, yeah. And I did it. And he was just like, oh my, like, I don't get it. So he was blown away. So he said, as soon as his last patient comes through, he is going to look at the website. So he's got the website and he's going to take a look at I told him, I said, there's clinical studies. There's as much information as you want or as little, but call me. But here's the site. And he was blown away.
And Eileen, it works 100% of the time with 100% of the people.
Yep, exactly.
And it's helped your pain, hasn't it?
Oh yeah. My knee pain when I'm not walking on it, because it's still bone on bone, but it used to keep me awake all night and I was constantly rubbing my knee in pain. It's gone.
Completely gone.
Yeah. When I'm sitting or I'm sleeping, I have no more pain.
A drug-free solution for pain. Imagine that, right?
Yep.
Keep telling those stories. Nicole, jump in here. Nicole Ashley, jump in here.
I have a story. This 85-year-old lady, she's writing her 5th book. She writes historical fiction. She had passed her deadline, so they gave her extra time, but she saw me talking about the focus patch. So this is the second time she contacts me, this time in an email. Thank you so much. I have just whizzed through a chapter that usually took me all day. Today, I did it in 1 hour. I believe that the patch is miraculous. This is her second time. So just fun testimonies that I get, from day to day.
You know
Thank
what?
you.
And I tell
Focus
you,
patch.
yeah, there you go with the focus patch. Absolutely. Well, Michael Copperwhite, jump in here, buddy.
I got these friends of mine in the neighborhood. I ran into them just at some local restaurants. We became friends. She and her husband and wife. And I saw her. I was in Florida 4 weeks ago. I was in the airport at 5 a.m. and she's there going to Aruba. So we get talking. I demo her at 5 a.m. in the airport. And she's like, this is amazing. She grabs a link. She buys a couple of things. And she had texted me about the REM patch. I wore it one night. I got some good sleep. I didn't wear it for 3 other nights. And I'm thinking to myself, just wear it every night and stop, right? But I didn't know what else she had bought. And I was walking the other day, and she and her husband drove by me as I'm walking, and I got my earbuds and I'm moving. And she pulls into a parking lot. She jumps out of the car. And she runs up to me. She says, "My mother loves the pain patch." It's crazy. It's so fun.
I tell you what, you guys, we could go on here for hours
Yes, so
talking
good.
about this. Carrie Helms, you're the last one here tonight. Jump in here.
Okay, so I raised my hand because my little sister is on here and I've not seen her on one of our Zooms in a while. So I'm going to let her take the time. She is the whole reason I joined this, you guys. So if you've heard my story, your face should light up when she starts talking. Shelby Davenport, unmute yourself and share why Superpatch Company has changed your life.
Okay, thank you. I don't know how to raise my hand on here, Steve, so that's why Carrie did it for me.
All right.
So I have a really rare disease called SCA8, so spinocerebellar ataxia type 8. And it mainly affects my balance. It affects a lot of other stuff like cognitive ability, my eyes mainly, but mostly my balance. And y'all, let me tell you, when Carrie first put the insoles on me, I could walk in a straight line for the first time ever in 27 years. I can also run for the first time. I normally have to have help going up and down stairs. Nope, not anymore. Don't touch me. I can do it all myself.
Shelby, I've known you for a long time now, it seems like. You've just become one of my family members. And the success that you have had with these super patches is remarkable.
Mhm.
And you guys, all of us listening here tonight, we all have a problem right now. We all have a big, big problem. And the problem is, you know something. You guys know something. You know, when I told you at the very beginning of this Zoom here tonight that we've got something that can change the world, I hope you lose sleep thinking about that possibility. Because guys, you're hearing story after story after story of a drug-free solution for this, that, and the other thing. It's like, yeah, this thing is for real. And we're going to take this thing worldwide. And we need your help. So those of you who are guests here tonight, listen, it's a no-brainer that you're going to absolutely get the product, the technology, and try it. But for $50, why don't you go out there and share it with other people? Because the company's going to pay you a ridiculous amount of money for something that you would do for free, right? And when I said that you have a big problem, is that if you don't go out and share what you heard here tonight, shame on you. Shame on you. You know people all within your circle of influence that could use what this technology has to offer. So I'm going to encourage all of you to get together with the person who invited you here tonight, get all of your questions answered, and I'm just going to assume you're joining us. And I'm just going to simply say, guys, welcome to the Super Patch Company. Thanks, everybody. You guys all have a great night. Thank you so much for sharing, everyone.